All right, guys, hello, what's up? This is Q, the People CFO. Why am I here? I am here today to give you guys a six-step framework. That's right, a six-step framework out of my years of consulting in corporate America. I've kind of put together a framework that I can use for you as an individual. It may help you in business, it may help you as an individual to grow yourself, but it's a framework that a lot of companies use in a lot of different ways. Fortune 100, Fortune 500 comes to use this type of stuff. So what I'm here to do is try to translate that for you as an individual that you can use in your day-to-day, right? So the first part of this is to understand what a North Star is. Get your North Star together. Where do you plan to be? Where do you plan to land? What's your vision there? If you were to say, okay, I'm gonna have a trajectory of this, what is that North Star for you? To be your best self, physically, mentally, and spiritually. First, really identify that, right? And we can talk about that later when you subscribe to my channel. Second step, your mission in life. What's your mission in life, guys? A lot of companies have a mission. Disney had a mission to entertain and provide theme parks and movies for kids and that type of value, that type of thing. But their mission was to definitely reach that, and they've done it. Some companies, like Amazon have their own mission statement, and that allows them to drive value. But for you as a person, you should have your own mission. Have a mission with some objectives tied to it, right? So again, get your mission together. Figure out what your mission in life is, physically. What your mission is to keep yourself healthy and mentally and spiritually strong, right? So you can deal with the financial things that come across your life, right? And be there physically for yourself and have finances that allow you to exist, right? So that's the mission, right? So it's the third thing I want to talk about is resources. Now, in order for you to reach that North Star, you got to have some resources. Some companies have resources for their vision, which is financial. Some of them have some assets that they can use, buildings and equipment and that type of thing. So that allows them to reach their mission statement. Okay. So again, you need resources that can be tangible and intangible, right? So for you as an individual, you understand what your resources are. How are you going to get to be, the best barbershop guy or the nail person, or you want to run a restaurant, you want to sell retail, tennis shoes, you want to sell hats. Okay. So with that, what resources you have to allow that to happen? If you just want to have resources for yourself to be better, where do you go to the gym? Where do you work out? Where do you jog? Where do you hike? Where do you play tennis? How do you get access to that and be consistent planning yourself to go ahead and work out all the time so you can be mentally and spiritually connected, right? Because you can't manage your money if you're not physically and mentally yoked correct, right? It's a lot of things tied to that, right? You have to have a clear balance there, right? So again, the next step I want to talk about is step number 4, which is the SWOT analysis. That's right, the SWOT analysis. Strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. You need to look at that, okay? So from the strengths perspective, what makes what you do great, and then what makes you as a person so strong in your life. That's great. Figure those things out, identify and write them down. Now, the W is the weaknesses. We all want to get away from that, but figure out where you're weak and be honest with yourself. Have a come to Jesus with yourself to know what your weaknesses are. Because then when the opportunity comes, you'll be prepared. That's the O. The O is opportunities. Understand what opportunities exist out there for where you're trying to achieve in your vision, using your mission to drive with your resources that you have. Okay? So opportunities. But along the way, there's always something trying to take you down, and that's the threats. Understand the threats in that arena and what you're trying to do in life. It's like businesses, you got to navigate through the waters and change course when necessary when threats exist, So same with yourself. Figure out what your threats are, write them down, make sure you're prepared for them and you know how to adjust and adapt to them. And be honest with yourself, right? Because again, you don't understand what's threatening you in your existence because you've been holding yourself back. People have been around you that are, just holding you down, or you're just lazy and you're just not around the right people to be motivated. Those are risks, okay? So you gotta get rid of that. So really understand your SWOT analysis, your strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats, okay? Now, the next step I'm gonna talk about is number 5, which is your action. You gotta get action, you gotta get going. This is where the tire hits the road. This is where things get moving. Plan your short-term goals, plan your long-term goals, and make sure they're achievable. Okay, once they're achievable, you can go at them, all right? And just be honest with that, and always change course when necessary, but have some action steps ready so you can keep moving, all right? So you're not just becoming stable and stale, right? So last but not least is, once this is all set, you have your vision, You know where you're heading to. You're reaching your North Star. You're using your resources. You're understanding the lay of the land, which is you're building up your strengths. You're making your weaknesses strengths. You're looking at opportunities to be prepared, and you're navigating around the threats and the risks. And you're creating that value because now you're doing the action steps. Now it's time to have a soft landing at your North Star. That can be, again, you can be your best self physically, you're healthy, your mind is clean, you're spiritually yoked, and your finances are good. Then you pass that knowledge and behavior down to your kids, and that's your exit. And you have the soft landing, and you have your coming to Jesus. That's the best way to do it. That's one thing I want to talk about. Subscribe to my channel, Q the People CFO. That's right, on YouTube. And make some comments. I'll have a couple of these videos on there. And then if I get enough, I'll dig further in each one of these and give you more advice. All right, until then, I'm Q, the People CFO.